Hello, everyone. This is another Black Conservative. I am Ryan Bolin. Thank you all for joining me. As some of you might already know, a situation occurred several days ago, and I should have done a video on this, but I didn't get around to it, where about, I'd say 50 to 51 migrants died inside a truck trailer, on their way to San Antonio. These were a bunch of migrants. They were trying to get over to the country, and they died. They were being smuggled here, and they died inside the trailer. Over 50 of them, men, women, and children, I believe. Joe Biden was in a conference, and he was asked about this situation with these people dying in a trailer. He was asked about it by a reporter, and apparently Biden, like he tends to do in previous conferences, is he turned his back and walked away. Now let's get into this article. Let's get into the details of this, and we're going to find out just exactly what occurred here. So the article says President Joe Biden fled his news conference Tuesday when asked by reporters about the 51 migrants who were found dead inside a truck trailer in San Antonio. The president held a joint news conference with Spanish Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez after traveling to Spain for a NATO meeting with European leaders. Oh yeah, he'll do something like that when it comes to pushing his global agenda, because Biden is a globalist. He's in support of globalism, which is a one world government, in case you was wondering what that means. He's in support of that. It's not a conspiracy theory. Okay, he'll go to something like that, but listen to this. But he did not take questions after the news conference was over. Mr. President, in reaction to the death of 50 migrants in Texas, one reporter asked as the president and prime minister turned to leave. Now, this has happened before. I've seen things like this happen, and during Trump's interviews, people would ask him questions. But when Trump would have questions like this, from what I understand, he never avoided them. Whether his answers were pre-planned or not, he never seemed to avoid the questions that they were answering. And a lot of those questions, some of them were dumb questions, dumb questions that were not relevant at all, and he would answer them. May not have been the answer people wanted, but he answered them. Biden has a bad habit of being asked questions that are relevant, such as this, okay, and walking away. Now, it could be argued that he walked away because that was it. There was nothing else needed to be said. But I purport this, that the reason why he walked away like he did so many other times is two reasons. Number one, the man can barely he can barely talk. He can barely remember a lot of the stuff that he says. And I don't need to get into that. Everybody with eyes to see knows that this man's cognitive abilities are declining. I'm not saying it in a way to mock him, because that's not the point. I'm not here trying to mock him. Because of that, I feel bad about that. He shouldn't even be, leading the country with those kind of cognitive abilities. But, the Democrats don't care. They don't care anyway. But anyway, that's not the issue here. The issue is that I believe it's not just his cognitive abilities, but that he walked away, but he didn't want to say anything that was off the script. You see, because it's often been said, and I believe it, that he goes by a script. And he does go by a script, and anything that diverts from that script, don't say anything about it. Don't say anything about this border crisis. Don't say anything about the border crisis. Don't say anything about these 50-something people. Don't say anything about these deaths. Just go about your business. It looks really bad. But let's go on with this. Let's go on. Biden did not answer the question, turning and walking away instead. A total of 39 men and 12 women died after being trapped inside the truck trailer that was abandoned about 160 miles from the United States-Mexico border. The White House issued a statement from Biden on social media calling the incident, quote, horrifying. Now here's what it says. My administration will continue to do everything possible to stop criminal smugglers from exploiting migrants, his statement read. How can anybody believe that? Is that supposed to add comfort to the American people? Now, mind you, these were migrants. It is suggested there were migrants that were trying to flee here to the country illegally. But the thing is that they were being smuggled over here. And I don't know why they were being smuggled over here. I don't know but whatever the situation was, they ended up dying. I don't know if they died from dehydration or starvation or what. It doesn't give us any detail about this. But the point is that the response, my administration will continue to do everything possible to stop criminal smugglers from exploiting migrants. His statement read. I personally don't believe Biden said this. I think that was written for him, because at the beginning it says the White House issued a statement. The White House, which would suggest his administration, people that write the script for him, issued a statement from Biden on social media calling the incident horrifying. No kidding. Why did these presidents get up and say, oh, that was horrifying? It's the most horrifying thing in the world. Of course it's horrifying. Anybody with any sense would know it's horrifying. The American people don't need you to say it's horrifying. We know it's horrifying. We don't need to. You need to do something. That's what you need to do. It ticks me off to see stuff like this happening. And yet you got these pro-abortion knuckleheads out here climbing on top of cranes now. And I might do a video about that one. Climbing on top of cranes and holding signs up on top of cranes over 100, close to 100 feet up on top of cranes, talking about telling the president, do something about this abortion decision, Roe v. Wade being overturned. Do something about it. Really? You risk your life climbing on top of a crane and say that? You have people like that talking about do something over something that's already been taken care of. Look, it's in the state's hands now. There's nothing else needs to be done by the president. But here, clearly something needs to be done about the borders. And what does the president do? As he often have done, turns his back and walks away. You voted for him, you got him. The article goes on to say the White House responded to Republicans blaming Biden's open border policies for the deaths of the migrants by insisting the border was secure. The fact of the matter is the border is closed, which is in part why you see people trying to make this dangerous journey using smuggling networks, White House Press Secretary Karen Jean-Pierre told reporters Tuesday. The fact of the matter is the border is closed, which is in part why you see people trying to make this dangerous journey using smuggling networks. Are you kidding me? Are you serious? This kind of stuff has been going on. People die all the time. I mean, trying to come over here and illegally come over here, people die all the time. They drown, they get shot, people die. These migrants die all the time. How is this, the border being closed, the reason why, or in part, she says, the reason why that they're deciding to do this? What are these migrants doing? What are they saying? Oh, the border is closed, so we have a better chance of getting up there. Really? You really think that these migrants are thinking, man, the border is closed, so we have a better chance of trying to get inside the truck and get smuggled up there? We have a better chance because the border is, the fact of the matter is the border is closed, which is in part why you see people trying to make this dangerous journey using smuggling networks. I'm trying to figure out what this person is saying. Here's the deal in the closing. This is the end of this article right here. Is that these are the people leading our country, folks. These are the people leading our country. This administration is a disaster. It's a disaster. And regardless of how you look at it, the borders are not closed. The borders are open. Joe Biden messed that up when he got into office, and he undid what President Trump was trying to do. He undid it. He undid a vast majority of policies that Trump put in place or was trying to put in place. Joe Biden got in office and undid all of that. Okay, including the border. So the border is wider open than it was. It's not closed. I don't know what this lady is or this person is saying, but whatever they're saying, it's a complete lie. They're the ones lying. These people have no sense of morality or purpose or I don't know. It's just terrible, the things that they say. But what do you guys think about this? What do you think about what Joe Biden did here? His press conference, walking away. I mean, I think he just walked away simply because not only because he couldn't cognitively say anything much, he probably was tired, was like, I got to get out of here. And or he walked away because he didn't want to say anything that was off the script that was written for him. Trump tended to speak off the script. Many say that Trump tended to speak off the script, and I personally believe he did. I'm sure he read the script. I'm sure certain things were given to him to give, but I believe that to speak on. But I believe that for the most part, Trump oftentimes spoke off the script, and that was what caused a problem with him with a lot of those establishment politicians, both Republican and Democrat, because he spoke off the script. He spoke his mind. He didn't trust the politicians. They were liars. They were swamp rats, and still are. And when you around all these swamp rats with all this mud on them, mud on their feet, poop all in their mouths and everything else, it's hard to be comfortable around it. It's hard to go by the script because the script is a bunch of nonsense, and it's written to keep everybody, to keep the masses of people in a mind control trance state. Oh, sure, the president said everything is going to be all right. I don't trust anything these people say. I trust God and myself. Two people I trust, God and myself. I don't trust nothing Joe Biden and any of these politicians say for the most part, especially the Democrats. So what do you guys think about this? Leave your comments in the comment section below. Like, share, and subscribe to this video. God bless you all, and see you again on another Black Conservative.